All right, friends, man, it's T. We are back again with our favorite influencer, Jason Blaha, man. Strength and fitness, the gym lifting recruiting slave. Yes, man. Ha. All right, let's see what the exercise slave has to say today. Jason Blaha says, why influencers always try to induce new exercises. So I can tell you why. All right, let's see what he has to say. I'm going to make a reaction video.
Is going to be repetitive. And it has to be because, again,
hold on a second.
Why do so many influencers online try to introduce new exercises all the time? Hey, everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals about this a little bit. All right, guys, a lot of it's pretty straightforward. You see a lot of influencers.
Why do influencers introduce new exercises? To keep you busy, man. It's only to keep you busy because you're never building any muscles.
Influencers who try to introduce new exercises so that they can stay relevant, and they want to pretend like they've come up with something or they have some rare bit of knowledge that we haven't already had for.
Yeah, the exercise has magic powers. When you do this new exercise, guess what? You're going to build a muscle. A muscle is going to build out of magically out of magic air, dude. Sure.
Many, many years and decades. And whereas in the reality is, most of the knowledge that all of us have to really give at a certain point beyond basic information is just coaching people. Meaning most of what I do with clients and everything else just comes from years and years of experience.
You don't need to coach people, man. You need to direct people in the right direction. Like when somebody asks you for directions to the washroom, don't give him the directions to the closet like Blaha does.
Obviously, keeping up with all the research and finding out what all the best coaches are doing in the world, but really it's just observation, spotting the
Whoa, the best coaches in the world. Okay, yeah.
trends in different lifters, seeing stuff they're doing wrong, adjusting technique, adjusting form, adjusting the amount of work they're doing based upon recovery, right? Finding weak points and then hitting those weak points a little harder, okay? But that is most of what the real knowledge is as far as strength training and muscle building goes. And anyone who's trying to always come up with new ideas that...
Man, strength training is muscle building. You build muscle and you get stronger. That's the whole point. Look, you have your regular body, your regular muscle, right? What you're born with or whatever. And you go, well, I want to get stronger. Did you get stronger if you didn't get bigger? You got better at lifting a heavy weight? No, you didn't get stronger. You got better at lifting weights. When you get stronger, you get more muscle. You get stronger. But you didn't build any muscle, so you didn't really get stronger. You're gonna say, well, I got stronger because I'm a strong guy. I'm a small, strong guy. I can lift a heavy weight. Yeah, but you didn't get any bigger. Then you're gonna say, well, I gained a lot of weight. I got bigger. I gained a lot of weight. I got fat eating carbohydrates. I gained muscle and weight and fat eating carbohydrates. You didn't gain anything, you got fat. Carbs don't build muscles, they build fat. Protein builds muscles.
They personally have some novel piece of information when they've only even been doing this 5 or 10 years. Pretty unlikely. Pretty unlikely. So again, the reason...
Look, man, people fail in the gym every day. You got people going in the gym thinking they're building muscles, thinking that carbohydrates are building muscles. So then you get these small, strong guys and say, look, I'm stronger than the big guy. He's a big guy, but he's not strong. Because the big guy is trying to focus on building muscles. He thinks the weights are building him muscles, which is even more crazy. It's not. It's drawing more of the glycogen from your slave diet, the artificial carbohydrates, into your muscles. And you're getting fat at the same time, and you're gaining weight, holding fluid, a bunch of stuff. It's all garbage weight. And so you haven't been practicing on trying to get good at lifting the weight like the skinny guy, because he's more focused on it. So he's going to claim that he's stronger than you because he got better at lifting. And he's going to say, you're a big guy, but you're not strong. And he's going to be, I'm a small guy, but I'm strong because I'm better than you at lifting these weights. Okay, whatever.
They do it is so that they can keep people watching you to stay relevant. Because the fact of the matter is, when you put out really good information, a lot of what you put out is going to be repetitive. And it has to be because, again, most of the basic knowledge is purely about how muscles work. What exercise...
How do they work, Blaha?
Work, what muscles, what functions they go through. Maybe how to perform those movements a little more safely. Maybe how to perform those movements in a way that hits the muscle slightly more effectively than what you're doing.
So you want to hit the muscle more effectively than what you're doing to do what? To break down more of these proteins in the muscle, to break proteins down? Okay.
But by and large, nutrition information, lifting information, everything has been there already to produce physiques and strength levels.
Look, man, bodybuilding is not that complicated. There's some complications in particular things that you're training for, that you're looking to get out of bodybuilding, but it is not that complicated, okay?
Levels that are way, way beyond anything that 99.9% people are seeking to achieve, okay? I mean, realistically, to the average Joe walking down the street, they're not trying to get stronger than power lifters were in the 80s.
The average guy walking down the street is not trying to get stronger by eating, by like building muscles, walking down the street. No. Oh, you mean got stronger by lifting a weight. Oh, they got strong at lifting a weight. Okay.
They're not trying to get better physiques than bodybuilders had in the 70s or 80s. They're really not. So think about that for a moment. That literally the level of knowledge that existed in the 70s and 80s was already sufficient to get 99.9% of people to any fitness goal they could possibly have.
Look, man, if I tell the truth on my channel how to build muscle, nobody's joining my channel. They're not listening to me. You understand me? If I tell them and I prove it with science and I say, look, man, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass on that myofibrillar to build muscle, and that will make you stronger. Nobody is going to listen to my channel like now when I tell them that. And I even bring out the proof. They're not listening to me. I bring out all kinds of stuff from PubMed and CBI to show you about muscle damage, the different things about muscle damage, repeated bout effect, myocytic androgen receptor, strength, mass, this, that, what builds muscles, what really builds muscles, what really gives you strength, what does everything. But you know what? Nobody wants to know the truth. They want me to confirm their fake beliefs. That guess what? A rep is going to build a muscle. Okay, dude. So, you know, you got to come along to get along. Maybe I should just start making videos and start agreeing that, yes, 8 reps is going to build a muscle. 10 is going to build, and 12 going to build even more muscles. The more reps you do, the more muscles you're going to build, and the bigger you're going to get. And then you're going to be looking around going, how come I'm not getting any bigger? See what I mean? But I confirmed your fake belief, though. Get it? A rep is going to build a muscle.
Okay, and the basics work, and I'm not saying occasionally a new machine can't be useful or something. I'm not saying occasionally something interesting doesn't come out, but look at the silly stuff that people try to promote. Right? We see it all the time. Above the knee rack pulls done with straps. I mean, you talk about a trash dumpster exercise. Okay? That got really popular for a while, and I called it out 8 years ago. I was making fun of that.
Yeah, they thought that built a muscle. Rack pulls below the knee builds muscles. No, it doesn't.
And then it fell out of vogue because obviously no one who really knew what they were doing with training was going to be promoting that people do
No, because the fake belief wore off. They didn't build. There's nothing built there. Nothing happened.
that as an exercise. And even the people who were promoting it as the fad quit doing so. But it was huge. And we see all the stuff with the booty bands and the hip.
Blaha lifts every day in his garage. He looks exactly the same. He never changes. He looks exactly the same. I see no change.
Circles, you know, things, all these exercises don't even work the glutes, right? People are always coming up with these little fad trendy things for women and glutes. Really, why don't you just do some really deep squats? Why don't you do some really deep leg presses? Why don't you do some heavy pulling off the floor? Okay, that'll build your glutes. You don't need other magical things, but it's always, well, I saw this one person and she claimed that she did this and then this is where her glutes got to. Maybe she just got a Brazilian butt lift. We don't want to think. This is where her glutes got to. Maybe she just got a Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, they fake it to make it. That's what they do. Brazilian butt, for sure.
We don't want to think about that. Because you're telling me that a woman who was already squatting X amount of tonnage and had all this various leg muscle wasn't building big glutes, okay?
How is she building big glutes? How does a weight lift? Because she did what? Squats or something? How did that build those glutes by doing squat? How did it build it? How did she build it? If she's not eating enough protein, she's eating the same amount of protein that she's been eating since the beginning. How did they grow? How did they grow? Carbohydrates. Oh, she grew fake sarcoplasmic muscles. Okay.
How do you know that's even muscle that she then added?
Exactly. How do you know that's muscle she added? It's sarcoplasmic. Get it? Or she injected something. Who knows?
And it probably isn't, because if you look at the research, most of these exercises, when they've been studied to see how they compare to squats, they don't even compete with squats, right? All these special glute exercises, when they've been measured in the lab in women.
Even your coach here, Coach Blaha, he's pumped up with carbohydrates. Yeah.
To see how much muscle they gain over 10 or 12 weeks, the squats generally build bigger glutes. They put more muscle on the glute. Yeah, it's nonsense.
I never heard of no squats putting muscle on glutes. A squat doesn't put muscles on glutes. Food does. Protein does, dude. Protein.
People are always doing this if they want to put some little new twist on an exercise and say, this is the magic secret. No, it's not. Not the magic secret. Because you have a nice physique and you're nice and lean doesn't mean you found the magic secret that will put an extra inch on people's biceps that we haven't already known. It's called curls.
No, it's not. It's not called curls. It's called protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. That's what it's called, Blaha.
That's usually how it's done. It's called tricep
No, it's called food. That's how it's done.
extensions. Hey, you're not giving anything new. And yes, sometimes there are things that are useful for prehab. Yeah, I occasionally promote some stuff that a lot of people haven't seen, like high rep band press downs for elbow tendons. But it's not getting you more jack. It's not going to add all this magical muscle somewhere. It's not, right? That sort of movement, when we incorporate it, what are we doing? We're just adding blood flow to the tendons. We're building tendons to help with tendonitis, to help with elbow pain.
We're building tendons. You're building tendons. How do you build tendons? They were already built when you were born. You're not building any tendons. What are you talking about?
In addition to, yeah, it'll put a little muscle on your triceps, but it's not magical. You know, same thing, you know, a lot of us might promote some reverse.
Here's a question. How do you build tendons? How do you build them? You want to build more tendons? I know tendons can only get longer. They can't get bigger. They can get slightly longer. But how do you build them? And they're not built if you're adapted. You know, they're built through muscle damage. And they take a lot longer to repair. They don't have blood vessels in them, man. Blood doesn't flow to them. Well.
Hypers, but that's been out 30 years. The patent's been out 30 years. And it's been proven in the trenches of powerlifting and strength and conditioning for decades. Like, it's not new. And does it really build more muscle? Are you going to build bigger erectors and bigger glutes just because you use it? No. It just helps with prehabbing the lower back. It can help with rehabbing low back injuries. It can help for people who had disc injuries and they still want to lift heavy. Okay? So a lot of this stuff that a lot of us introduce, they're just there to help you with prehab in many cases. It's sometimes to help with some inflammation. Right? These are almost therapeutic exercises, but they're not magical exercises going to put more muscle on you. Like, I come over, I promote pullover. You see me doing pullovers there? Sure. But what is it that we all know with pullovers? That they're not a new exercise. It's an old school exercise that back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, it was considered to be one of the best exercises ever, and all the physique and bodybuilder guys did them. They were considered a staple exercise, just like the squat, bench, or deadlift. Okay? Most guys.
They were a staple exercise. That's what they are, exercises. They don't put muscle on you. They're exercises. There you go. Even Blaha admits to it.
Who study that stuff and look into the old classic physiques, they do pullovers because those guys all did pullovers. It's not a new exercise. It's a basic.
You can call it exercise. Really, it's laboring. You're just a laborer.
Old school. And I would say to most people, that's all that you really need. You need good programming, good nutrition, and you need most of these basic movements. No new exercise you do is going to be a secret weapon. Like, you want to, like, well, the incline bench, probably the best exercise for building an aesthetic chest because of the upper chest. But let's be honest, it's an ancient exercise. I'm 47, and this exercise was already considered a basic lift long before I was born. Okay, it was a staple exercise. No one is coming up with anything new. The best stuff has already been discovered for the most part. People already know how to do it. It's all out there. So when people start coming up with this other oddball stuff, you know, some special exercise for your glutes, a Jefferson deadlift, they're simply trying to stay relevant because they know that the basics are hard to continue to sell to people, even though that's what they need to be doing. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
Man, that was really bad. I hope that's all he had to say. God damn. Anyways, friends, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm.
I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
It has been very uninformative, man. It made no sense. But I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. You tell me what you think about Blaha's video.